Okay, so this is the code. This is the video explaining all my code. Now I'm importing the sys library, which I'll explain later once it comes up. I'm also importing Pygame, which is what I'm going to be using to actually make the game, so I don't have to all code it, and I'll import its library of code to make this a lot easier. This is initializing Pygame for the rest of my code, just so you know it works and I'm able to use it. This is making a variable for a sound file that I imported. This is a little Pong Flip. As you can see, I installed this file on my computer and then put in the same file as this PyCharm file. So, and then now this is just kind of initializing slash importing it to this to Pygame, so I'm able to use it. Same thing here, but with an actual full song this time. So it's different. It's music.load into sound, and this is just a full song that's going to be playing continuously. And this is the code that's going to be continuously playing this song. It's playing it, and -1 means it'll just keep going. Like if I were to put it at 2, it would play 2 times, but because it's -1, it'll just keep going forever. This is actually making the screen for Pygame that I'll be putting all my stuff on, and it's going to be 400 wide and 600 tall, and that's going to be the height. This is just setting a little caption, Pong. It'll just say at the top, not much. These are variables for the score. They don't do much right now at this point in the code, but they both equal 0 because both people start at 0. They don't go above, won't start above that. And then these are the variables for all the shapes I'm going to be making on my Pygame, on my Pong game. So there's not very many. You only have 3. I make the ball down here. I don't know why I put it down there. It just doesn't matter. But see all 4. It's only 4 objects. This line isn't required, but I just put a little line to make it look nicer. And these are the 2 paddles. This one's 200 in the middle, 200 across the x-axis, so it's in the middle. It's 0 in the y since I made 600 tall, so it doesn't matter where it is in the y-axis. It's 1 wide because it's a line, and then 600 tall, so it goes completely across. This is the paddle. This on the x-axis, that's 0, and it's 250 in the y-axis, so it's basically in the middle. It's 10 wide and 100 tall. And this is 350, so it's on the right side. This is on the left because it's 0. This is on the right. It goes from left to right on the x-axis and then top to bottom and on for the y. And 250 in the middle. You want to be equal for both of them. 10 wide, 100 tall. Same thing. And this is the Y position for both of them. Both their Y positions are 250, as I said here. It's just from the start. And dir equals stop. This is for the movement for the game loop, which is just down. So it doesn't matter much right now. I'm just making them stop 1 and stop 2. And this will matter more in a second. Just, yeah, ignore that for now. This is for the ball. This is where the ball's going to start out. Bx equals 200 and by equals 300. That's x and y. I want them to be like that, so it's perfectly in the middle. And this is actually making the ball variable. It hasn't been put in yet. This is just a variable for the ball. And as I said, just same here, 200, 300. And this is how tall and wide, 15 by 15. So it's basically a ball. It's not a true ball. It's a cube, actually. Well, not cube. It's a square, but it's good enough for now. And this is the speed. I'm making it -1, so it starts going to the left side. It does. I could, if I would change it to like +1, like it would go to the right. But I think going to the left is just better starting, and we'll use those later. This is for the fonts for the score. Now this is just actually making the font variable pygame.font. This is font, and then this is the font like type of font, and that's the size. And this is for my. I have 2 fonts, one for the left, one for the right. 2 scoreboards, and this is for the left one, text, and then it's font dot rendering the font, string, and then S1, which I put all the way above, so it's S1, and that equals 0 right now, and so it's true, so it just appears. And then this is just the color. It's white. I don't know. White looks nice. 255 RGB for white. And then this is text dot rect. I'm getting text dot get underscore rect, which is like making the rect so I can put it in, and that's what text rect equals. And then I'm gonna text dot rect center it. That's where I'm putting it. This one's gonna be 300, and then 10. It's 300. This is actually the right side one, and then it's 10 300 and then 10 below the y. So it's very close to the top, and this is the same, but on the left side, so it's only 100. Same y, because I want them to be even, and same thing here. It's getting it. This is the game, the while loop. So while true, so it's always going, and it's looking for any events that happen. And if you click the quit button, pygame not quit, and it quits, and then sys.exit. This is where that module came in. If you exit normally, a bunch of very very ugly code appears down here. It's not even code; it's just a bunch of like error text. This gets rid of that, so it's just nice. You don't need it, but I like it. Now, so as I said, this is looking for events, and so if event equals key down, and if event equals key underscore up, k equal underscore up, if it equals that, and that by the way doesn't mean just any key, it means the up arrow. And so if it does dir equal up, we'll use this in a second. Same here, if it means the down key, the down arrow equals down. And so and if now it's and this that's the event it's looking for. And now if it sees that there's keys up, and you see that both of these are up, it'll equal stop, and we'll use that in a second. This is the same thing, but for the W and S, these are separate variables so that the W and S move the left side and these move the right. If you don't like make those separate variables, like if I were to make these both dir and then these also dir, they both move for both of them, and that wouldn't work. So we're trying to go for it, but it's the same code, looking for key down, and if key W, k underscore W up, up down, but down two, but another different, basically the same variable, just like I'm going to use it, I'm basically going to use this exact same code, but copy and paste it so it's for each side. And yep, same thing, stop, and then if it's key up, stop. Now this is just what making the speed. I think I forgot to explain that. Sorry. So it's bx equals speed. I already made bx and speed all the way up here. I can't believe I forgot to explain that. Yeah, the x speed equals -1, so it goes to the left. I think I might have explained it. I don't remember, but y speed, same thing. And then the bx is in the middle. And so yeah, so the bx will every time you'll add the speed to the bx, and same with the by, so it will move, but usually in a diagonal direction. So yeah, and this is making sure that it bounces off the top and bottom. So it's by is greater than 0, which means it'll hit the top. It'll go -1, so it reverses it, and so it doesn't clip through, and it'll bounce back. Same here, but this is for the bottom, so it reverses it. Same, they're both negative, but it doesn't matter because negative is just kind of reversing it. Like if it's negative, a negative times a negative will equal a positive, and negative times positive. See, so you're timesing by a negative, so it'll go the opposite way no matter what. And this is for if you actually score on the opponent and get on their side. If it's greater, if bx is greater than 400, or if bx is greater than 1, 400 means if it hits the right side, and then this for the left. It'll just put it in the middle and restart again, and the person will get a point, which will happen in a second. Now this is for actually moving the paddle. If they're, all the way up there, equal up, and Y position is if Y position is above 0, this is to make sure you can't clip through the bottom, and here for clipping through the top. If you hold it, it'll equal -1, meaning it will go up 1. If you hold it down, it'll keep doing that if you're holding it. It's pretty cool, like seamless. I don't have to tap it, I can just hold it. This is the same thing, but for going down, and this is just here, so it stops, so it doesn't clip through it, just like the other one. And this is the exact same thing, but for the right paddle, I think. No, this one for the left paddle, and this one. Wait, no, I think this one's for the left, and this one's for the right. But same thing, just for the right paddle, as I said earlier. I think actually I gotta make sure now. So okay, no, so dir 2 is for the left, and so this one's for the left, and this one's for the right. Same code, just for the left and right paddle. Now this is the collision, so that the ball bounces off each paddle. It's equal, and this we're saying a variable, so equals pygame.rect.collide, and this is making it that if the paddle or the ball touch each other, they'll bounce off instead of just clipping through. And this is the same thing, but for the paddle too, which is the left side. This is the right side, and that's just the ball. The ball's universal, and so let's make sure that they collide. And if they do collide, they'll equal times equal -1, which will make it go the opposite way, and the bx will go down 10. And also, a little sound I imported quite a bit ago. Every time they collide, it plays the sound. Cool. Yeah. Because, oh, that was a mistake. I don't know what I did there. But yeah, that's just what happens if they collide. place a little silent, goes backwards. Same here, but it's plus this time because this is on this one's on the right side and this is on the left. So the plus is the opposite of the right side and minus the opposite of the left side. Actually, this one's for the left and this one's for the right. So yeah, that's what happens. And I also play the sound for each one. This I'm rendering the font again. I already did that. I had to do it down here because if I had to do it down here so it actually reaches the code down here for all of it. So yeah, that's why it's here. And 255, I white looks nice, and also true, so it's always there. And string S1, it has to be a string or because it won't work any other way. This is the display. This is for actually them going up. So if the BX is above or equal to 2, S2, the right side, no, sorry, this is the left side. It's a little confusing. Will go up by 1. Same thing here. If it goes on the right side, goes past that, S1 will increase once. Cool. I don't know. So it'll just keep increasing every time. And this is actually, now this is the last bit of code. This is actually putting everything onto the game itself. These are on this, no, sorry, my mistake. This isn't putting it on. This is just making variables for each one. So podl equal pygame.rect rects the thing to make shapes. 390 is how far it is. 390 is how far it is. That's right. To the right, y position is it's all the way up there. Y was a variable all the way up here. Equals that 250 in the middle. I could have used the same y position. I don't know why I did that. It's fine. And this is the width 10. Yeah, that's the width, and then the height's 100. The ball, pygame.rect, and then bx, its position, by, which is 1515. Be the same thing if I were to put 1515. But no, sorry, not 1515. I would put 200, 300, so it'd be in the middle, but that's just easier and looks nicer. And this is the size 1515, as I made it already. I think I already did that up here. I had to do it again, so it actually reaches the code down here. Same thing here, but for the left paddle, this is the right 0, Y position 2. I didn't need to do that, but this is just it just looks nicer. And then the width and the height. This is filling the screen so that it's black because black looks nicer with all the white, and you wouldn't be able to see anything if I were to make it white. So it's RGB for black's just 0, 0, 0 because it's the absence of color. Now this lit is actually putting in the text. So it equals text, which is the variable, and then text rec. So it actually recs that text onto the screen. So you have to put both those in. So it's just the text variable. So that's what the text is, and then recting it, which is all the data too. Same thing here for the left side. Yep. And this is making all the paddles. So you see pygame.draw.rect, and this is the screen. That's where you're putting it. RGB value, making it white. Everything's white except for the background, which is black. So RGB value for white's just max that out. And then that's the left paddle. And that's just a variable. I already made it all the way up there. So it's just going to be drawing that. Same thing for the paddle ball. And then that line I made a lot earlier. And yeah, that's just putting all that stuff on the screen. It's drawing it. And this is the last, but probably most important piece of code. This just keeps updating the display. If you don't have this, the entire thing doesn't work. It just keeps updating the display. So when you're playing, it'll keep updating. If you don't have this, I think you can also use .display.flip instead of this, but I think update works better. So yeah, and without this, nothing else will work. So yeah, that's my code. Works pretty well. Already have the gameplay video made up. And yeah, thank you.